Coming down from Down Patrick, stopping off at St John's Point to plant a landmine, and the crack was good. Shot at the Brits at Strangford Lock early in the morning. Drove through Shrigley shouting up the Ra and on the Killyleigh. Hijacked another car in the Lacal district just before Corny Island. On and over the hill, the hourglass and the stolen jam jar. Autumn sunshine glinting on my Kalashnikov, all shiny and new. Stopping off at hourglass to let off a few rounds at the pillars in case we got bored before dinner. On and over the hill, and the crack of the rifle was good, heading towards Corny Island. I looked at the mask over your face as I primed a car bomb in the autumn sunshine. And all the time we're going to Corny Island, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be great if it was like this all the time?
We do have the Reverend Ian Paisley in here tonight. The counter-punch with Jerry Adams has just come out with Dr. Paisley. Is Jerry Adams going to get his demands met, or is he not? Let me say this here. And let me make this abundantly clear. All that Jerry Adams is going to get is a severe boot in the bollocks. By Willie McRae, of course. But I want to make it very clear that Mr. Adams will not be at the tax table while the Democratic Unionist Party are there. They'll be fucking under the table, not at it. Well, Dr. Paisley, what about the Anglo-Irish Agreement? Is it working for the people in Northern Ireland, or is it not? Well, let me say this here. The Anglo-Irish Agreement will have to be scrapped, because if it's not scrapped, there will be a fucking scrap. Simple as that. Right, now, let's get away from politics for one moment, Dr. Paisley, and talk about the old BSc and beef. Now, I'm sure we have a few farmers in here tonight. I'm not too sure whether we do, but we want to ask, does your wife Eileen still take the beef? That's a very personal question you're asking there, son. I don't know which way to take that, to be honest with you, Northern Ireland, but anyway, that's what sides the point. Yes, she does take the beef. She's very fond of it, and the daughter, Rhonda the Honda, is very fond of it as well. And yes, we all like the beef in our house. Right, well, that's fair dues, Dr. Paisley, but we do want to move along because we do have Lord Jerry Fitt. We've flown him the whole way from London to be here tonight. I'm sure his fucking ears are aching, but he is here tonight. Jerry Fitt, as you know, represented the Catholic SDLP party on the Antrim Road until it turned his house into an all-night bonfire. But he is here tonight. Jerry Fitt, what's it like to be back in Northern Ireland?
Look at those jam jars he is wearing. That's what years of self-abuse have done to him. I bet you he's lost a few deposits.
I represent the Catholic people in West Belfast for 25 years. I fought for 25 years to get them their houses in West Belfast. And what happens when I get them their houses in West Belfast? They fucking burn me out of mine. So I had to move to London. London's a very quiet place. In fact, it's that quiet I can't get to sleep at night. So what I do is hire a couple of hoods to come round to my house, kick a door down, break a window. That way I get a good night's sleep. I feel it's on my Belfast.
Well, would you ever consider Lord Fitt coming back and living in Northern Ireland again now that we've got the very, very fragile ceasefire?
What a bollocks. As you know, I was petrol bombed out of my house. Knowing my luck, if I was to come back to Northern Ireland tomorrow, BP would drop his petrol prices by about £1 a fucking gallon. There's no hell of it. Ian Paisley, do you think it was safe enough for me to come back and live in Northern Ireland again or not?
Let me say this here to you, Mr. Fitt. And let me make this abundantly clear to you. That it would be about as safe for you to come back and live in Northern Ireland as it would be for Salman Rushdie to walk down the main street in Tehran for That stupid, spaggy bastard Fitt has definitely lost it, you know. I was talking to him only last week and he said, you know, Ian, it's tough in the House of Lords. I'm always glad to get home for a good night's sleep after a sitting. I looked at him in amazement and I said, Jerry, do you mean to say to me you sleep at home as well? Did you ever get to like that in your life, Bishop? What a nonsense.
Right now, at this moment in time, we are going to interview the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, the ex-Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, Sir Patrick Mayhew, who will be, of course, followed by the new Secretary of State, Mo Mowlam. But anyway, Sir Patrick Mayhew, I want to ask you, is Mo Mowlam doing the business as the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland?
Well, let me say that whenever I was the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, it was a very difficult and demanding job. And Mo Mowlam has the advantage of having brain surgery, a thing I didn't have.
You could have fucking fooled me, and I think the operation went wrong. But anyway, is she doing the business or is she not?
Well, I don't really know whether Mo Mowlam is doing the business or not, but I have to say, what we really do require is for Sinn Féin to decommission their weapons. That way they could come to the talks table. If they fail to decommission the weapons, they will not be at the table. Simple as that.
That's fair dues, but we do have Mo Mowlam in here tonight. Dr. Mowlam, the whole way from London. She is here tonight. Dr. Mowlam, I'm going to ask you first and foremost, how is the post as Secretary of State for Northern Ireland?
Well, I have to say that the people of Northern Ireland are very, very resilient. And what we really do want is a ceasefire to be called right away by the IRA. And once we have that called, then we'll be able to go into negotiations with Sinn Féin. But I don't know whether that's going to be possible or not. It really does depend on the unionists coming to the table. If they don't come to the table, then we're all in fucking shit street. Simple as that.
Well, I want to say this to Mo Mowlam, or should I say fucking Mo Johnson, that the Secretary of State is not welcome in the province because she is biased towards the nationalists. And the sooner Mo Mowlam changes her name to Mo Surrender the fucking Batter, that's all I say.
Right, well, that's fair dues. We are going to speak to John Hume, the leader of the SDLP party. John Hume, you want to lash out at loyalist people, is that right?
Well, I don't particularly want to lash out at loyalist people. I want to make this clear. What we want is for both sections of the community to come together. We're fed up with all this fighting and arguing and bantering. And I want both sections of the community to come together as one.
Let me tell you this here, Mr. Hume. We've heard all that shite before.